ILTV Plus, your news from Israel and more 24/7. Start your free trial today. Subscribe at ILTV.tv and watch from any device. Moving now to the Gulf, we go back to last week when ILTV was on the ground in Dubai of the United Arab Emirates. The Israeli Pavilion, hosted by both KKL-JNF and Startup Nation Central, helping to celebrate the United Arab Emirates' 50th Independence Day with a special candle lighting ceremony. And ILTV's Asaf Nissan was reporting.
We're here in the Dubai Expo celebrating 50 years of independence for the UAE, together with over a year of friendship between Israel and the UAE. The United Arab Emirates, which is established under the leadership of Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, has just celebrated 50 years since it was founded, and interestingly enough, the date of the Jubilee was on the 5th day of Hanukkah, thus making this as a 555 celebration, or as they say in Arabic and Hebrew, Khamsa Khamsa Khamsa. Along with this celebration, Israel has been celebrating the newly founded relationship with the UAE, created over a year ago by the Abraham Accords, and has brought a lot of success between the two countries over this period.
The Abraham Accords were signed in September 2020. It's just a bit more than a year. And what we did in this expo in the last 2 months is very significant because we had over 7 ministers coming here. We could see eventually the agreements between different ministries being signed.
In addition, the Israeli Pavilion, together with the Startup Nation Central and JNF, have done a special candle lighting that has brought out a lot of people and attention to the pavilion.
So KKL-JNF and Startup Nation Central decided to do on the 50th Jubilee for the United Arab Emirates to celebrate the Sustainable Development Goals event, which we brought individuals and companies dealing with sustainable development projects. Very interesting figures that we brought here to Expo 2020 Dubai, and there's no better way to celebrate those projects that are bringing for the next generation a lot of well-being for everybody, to showcase it here in Expo 2020.
So far, the pavilion attracted over 1 million visitors and growing, all coming to see what Israel's all about.
It's beyond our expectations. It's true. Expo started on October 1st. We are here for 6 months. So far, millions visited the expo. We assume nearly 10% presented themselves also in the Israeli pavilion. We get visitors from all over the world, including countries which are not in relations with Israel. People who are curious coming, and most of them have first touch ever with Israel, and that's marvelous experience.
And according to the Israeli Pavilion, we're actually seeing here a turning point in a relationship that is expected only to grow.
For us, Expo 2020 is one of the initial steps in what is called the Abraham Accords. And so we're taking baby steps as we go along. And after this step is part of building a very big and long-term relationship between Israel and the UAE.
Asaf Nissan, ILTV.